Welcome to the Real Salty Podcast. Please join Stephanie and Caitlin as we dive into life in Florida, the good, the salty, and everything in between. We'll chat about real estate, family, sports, building a community, and all the unique things that make living in the Sunshine State so special. Plus, we'll bring on some amazing special guests to share their stories and expertise along the way. So grab your favorite drink and get ready to laugh, learn, and get a little salty with us.
Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of the Real Salty Podcast. We are here for another day.
Another day, another dollar? That's what
another
it should be.
day, another dollar?
Another
I like
dollar.
that.
That's right.
I tried to do like Southern Belle, but you're going to bring a gangster, ATL.
A total gangster. I mean,
early
why not?
2000s. It doesn't take a lot to lead me down that path.
No, it doesn't take a lot for me too. And then I get the mom roll the eyes. So, you know,
well, you don't have
usual.
to worry about that here. You're in a safe place here.
I'm in a safe place. And quite frankly, my house is pretty empty anyway. My daughter's doing her SAT tutoring right now because she's got goals in life, which is amazing because I had none when I was younger. And
gotta love her. Gotta love her.
My other son is at work and the other one is still gallivanting across Italy. So, you know,
on his best European vacation.
Yes, on his European vacation. Exactly. But he went to a beach over the weekend, so that was fun. I don't know. Via Reggio, I'm sure I'm like chopping that up because I'm not Italian and I'm not even going to pretend to speak it.
That's because he gets to go to the special places that us tourists don't get to go to.
That's right. No, that's exactly it. I mean, most people go to Cinque Terre, but no, he goes to this special one that they found a cool Airbnb. That's exactly it. And he sends us his text message. Which was late for him, but still early for us, that all it says is, I love wine.
Hey,
and I'm like, okay, what does that mean? So both brains of mine went one, okay, well, what kind of wine? Because there's a lot of different kinds. And the other brain of me went to, do you like wine and not the label? Or what are we getting at right now? So let's just clarify. So the mom and we said, well, what kind of wine? He said Pinot. I said, okay. And then I responded with, you like the wine, not the label. And he was like, he just laughed because he knew it was a reference to Schitt's Creek, which is just all inclusive, lovely.
This just hammers home how much more I know that you're raising your kids right. You know what I mean? Like they're going to get these references. They're going to get these little jokes.
I know. I was trying to find a meme to send quickly over to him, like an image to text back over to him. And I couldn't find it. So I just said, you like the wine, not the label. So we left it at that. But yeah, he's living his best life. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. And, you know,
well, he's on some beach that we cannot pronounce, living his best life so far.
Yes.
And because he's a youngin'. Like
pretending to take a class. He's taking a couple of classes so he gets credit.
Well, and I'm just thinking like, you know, he's in college. He's a college student. So I think about what my friends and I were drinking in college, and like we were scraping together dollars with quarters.
Yeah, it started with a B, ended with boons.
Or grain alcohol of some kind, right?
Some sort of moonshine that was homemade by what can we take from our parents' liquor cabinet without
somebody's
them realizing it.
Or somebody's cousin's bathtub of jungle juice, right? But here's Cooper. Here's Cooper panting across Italy in some beach we can't pronounce, probably drinking what would be like $5 Chuck here, but is literally somehow the grape descendant of the blood of Christ.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I mean, he did see the Pope, so he's pretty close to it. So, I think
the kid has earned like enough penance now. Well, I don't want to tell your mom bring that, but I'm like enough penance now for at least a year and a half. He's
got to have credits.
Good to go.
He just has to. He's got to be banking the penance right now, right?
If they don't give him extra credit for actually having a visual on the Pope.
I know. Yeah. Saw the Pope one weekend. Next weekend, he jet setted to Bologna and then went to Venice, and then now he's at the beach, and I think it's via Reggio or something like that. So yeah, he didn't see. I guess there's a lot of uproar in Venice right now because Jeff Bezos is getting married there.
Oh,
so there's a lot of protests over there right now. Mm-hmm. But he didn't see that. He didn't mention it. If he did see it,
I got a question, because there's been many a celebrity that gets married in Italy, and I have to recognize and realize that yes, it's gorgeous, and there's so many places that would be beautiful, and so many people that come from Italian heritage that it might
Yeah.
mean something to them to get married in their, their ancestral home or whatever. Um, but I just want to ask, because you think of like all the celebrities, Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes, George Clooney, Jeff Bezos. Now I could go on and on and on. Angelina and Brad, didn't they do at least one of their 7 there? I don't know.
Yeah.
But my question is
Yeah.
it some kind of like corporate tax break for getting married in Italy? Or is it just that
I think that's a fair question.
Is it just that beautiful? I don't know, but
I don't know. Is it the whole sacrament, the sacrament, and you feel like you're closer to God? I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what the reason would be. I mean, Venice is beautiful, and it definitely is really, really like thriving right now. I mean, COVID helped clean up that city quite a bit because the pollution was really, really bad in Venice for quite some time. But with COVID and no one really using the canals, I mean, Venice is pretty, but I actually don't know. But there are a lot of people that it's got to be part of just being the sacrament of marriage, right? It has to be that you just feel like you're as close to,
I guess,
as close to God and his word. And I mean, you just named a whole bunch of people that clearly God wasn't watching their word, because I mean, I don't know if that's really putting.
What are you talking about? They are a pillar of the community.
Yes. I mean, they're a pillar of the sacrament. They for sure are.
Hell, I heard they let anybody in the Vatican nowadays. No, I was kidding.
And any dress code.
Oh,
whereas before it wasn't like that. But anyway.
Eyeliner optional. Okay, we're done.
No, it used to have your shoulders covered. Yeah, no hats, shoulders covered. Men had to wear pants. But I don't think it's as strict, but probably because the summer months are the most tourist months that there are. And it is just hot as F in Italy during this time frame. And there's no like west breeze like we get off of the Gulf of
I was just about to say that would be like the scantily clad people sweatily crawling themselves across Gulf Boulevard to walk into the Dak Shack and asking them to put a jacket on. Like, I cannot.
Yeah. It's like the people that are just like trying to make it work in Disney, but want to kill themselves because it's just so freaking hot. Because it's the middle of the state. There's like no circulation. I mean, it's just bad. But
you're right.
Anyway, enough about Italy. So here we are the day after Father's Day. I work almost every single Sunday, but we'll just say that I worked yesterday, so Michael didn't have to.
Because you're a saint.
Well, because, I'm just trying to be a good wifey. So, and then I got to spend, and then we had dinner last night with my parents, which was obviously nice to see my father on Father's Day. There was a lot of Father's Days that I didn't get to spend the day with him. And I got Michael a bottle of rye whiskey. So he was thrilled with his Father's Day. He always gets me flowers, which I love. But so he was extra excited, had probably a little more pep in his step yesterday. But yeah, I mean, I worked yesterday. It's neat seeing people come in and do some stuff and just try to find something. But I'm sure you spent most of your day just trying to stay busy, as a lot of people out there. And I will say before you chit chat away that I definitely treasure every single holiday I get to spend with any of my family. That's for sure.
That makes my heart
happy.
Life
is short.
That's right. I hate to be jaded, but life
is
short.
In the blink of an eye. Sorry, a little Taylor Swift for you there.
No, you're totally fine. All I can think about it is like something, don't know when I'm coming home, but it won't be long. But
I like it. So we've now entered the karaoke section of the podcast. So I love this. We started with rap, but
hey, today was a good day. But
today was a good day.
Father's Day is just, I lost my father. It's almost 13 years now, which doesn't even really seem real.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Rest in peace, Jack Beard. He was a gentleman and a scholar, and so many golden nuggets of stories that I thought were like, oh, please just stop. And now
they're hysterical.
I have to write
so many funny stories about him. And I know that some of them were chaotic, but they're just literally Who doesn't live a chaotic life? And if you don't, then I feel like most people try and create
If
chaos.
you actually think about all the successful comedies and even like comedy series and things like that, like even let's just take Everybody Loves Raymond. His
Yes.
in-laws
Oh
lived
my
across the
God.
street, and his discerning mother used to come over who was obsessed with him and just rip Deborah apart, right? And
Rip
then we
her
laugh
apart.
about the older brother who's jealous of Raymond's like jealousy, all
Yeah.
but it's funny and it's funny.
So
And
funny.
so there's so many things in my life where at the time I look back now and I'm like, that is hilarious.
Hysterical.
It's hilarious. But Father's Day is just one of the days that I personally realize that there's many people out there, no matter what your age are, that you don't have your dad for whatever reason
Hmm.
that might be. It might have been that he was never involved with you in your life.
Yeah.
It might be that he has passed. It might be that he went off and found a new second family. And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yep.
there's people out there where this day affects them in different ways, where it's not a beautiful celebration. It could be a day of avoidance. And mine
Yep.
used to be more
And
serious.
remembrance. Yeah.
That's right. My day used to be more of an avoidance than it is now, where it still is an avoidance, but it's more of a I'm okay in the remembrance when it comes. Because
Yep.
I mean, shit. You fast forward like 10 years ago, I couldn't even see a Macy's Father's Day commercial about suits being on sale without losing it. So yeah, no, it's hilarious.
Right.
But
Right.
just like God, and you wish the world stopped turning. But I will say shout out to Trent because he did his job after over 15 years very well. Well, I guess
And
15 with
Trent
a
always
bad
delivers.
situation. That's right. Trent is the steady, he's the solid, he's the
Hmm.
rock. But he kept me completely distracted all day. We went on a random adventure. We got in the car, we had a general direction of an idea, and we started driving. And it was great. And we went down to
Did you head north or south?
we went south. So
Oh,
we
fun.
actually, yeah, we
Fun.
went Gulf Boulevard all the way down off the chain, and then we went across the causeway like we were going to go to South St. Pete, jumped into Terra Verde,
Oh,
took that all
south
the way.
point of Pinellas County then.
That's right. So we took it all the way down to Fort DeSoto. God, I forget
Mm.
how many beach areas are down there that are just and it was really it actually made my heart really happy because we were driving around all the beach pavilions, and they have like the enclosed pavilion shelters and you can reserve them, and there were so many like fat family gatherings going on, obviously for probably Father's Day, barbecues, and like we're talking like 30, 50, maybe 100 people in
Cool.
one pavilion, and like they're having a great time. And there was a
That's
point
cool.
actually where there was the one particular place, I mean, they're blaring the Cupid shuffle. There's four different freaking groups
Totally.
going. And I told Trent, I was like, do you think we could blend in and just like get some of
Hmm.
that food? Because I guarantee it's fire. Like,
Yeah, you're just not doing a wedding crasher. You're like Father's Day crasher.
yes,
I
yes. Well,
mean,
we weren't in actual beach. Not that I was wearing my Seinfeld pirate shirt today, but we were not in beach attire. So I was like, we're not going to blend in.
yeah, you're not gonna blend.
So we actually wound up stopping at, I was going to ask you, Billy's Stone Crab restaurant
Oh, cool. Very
in Terra
cool.
Verde.
Yep.
Never
I have
had
never
been
been
there.
there, but
Oh,
I
we gotta
have
go.
heard of it.
We gotta
I'll have to
go.
go. Yeah.
So it's, for my Midwest peeps, and I know that you come from Midwest upbringing too, and they might recognize with like some of your public lakes that have maybe some commercial bars and restaurant spots on it. But I'm thinking this place, guys, okay, for my Midwest Missouri peeps, dropped straight out of the Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Okay.
Yes, built right into the mangroves, or in Lake of the Ozarks, it would have been the Granite Cliff, and the water's right there. There's a couple public slips that you can pull your boat up into. They do glass bottom
Right at the restaurant.
yes,
Very
glass
cool.
bottom kayak rentals right out of there too. But this restaurant, God bless it, looks like it's just been one edition with another edition with another edition with the addition and the addition. And so it's a little shanty-esque, but it's nice. And we actually
Very
ate
nice.
up in this like captain's nest loft, they call it. And this guitarist we'll move on from Father's Day, but all I want to say is even when you do your very best to try to play the avoidance game, the remembrance game comes in because there was a guitarist that was playing up in the area in which we were eating in the loft there. And this guitarist was so talented. And my dad played the guitar. And so
Oh,
like, well, there you go. So
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's a sign.
But I will tell you about one of this watering hole establishment. it's one of those places where you can sign your name on a dollar bill and staple it up, and they got random stickers slapped everywhere. But because they went to the hurricane, they need replenishing. So Trent and I got on the subject of, you and I have talked about making this
some stickers. Yep.
lovely
Yeah, we need to do that
into a sticker. And I was like, yeah, and then we get to slap it up in all these different places. And Trent's like, I got it. I got it. Okay. We're gonna put your faces on it. And I'm like, He's like, we're gonna put your faces on it, and it's gonna be like those gas pump things, or in the urinal where you see their faces like pointing at something and being like, I did that. And I go, no, that is
I don't know if we want to claim things.
Why would I want to point at a urinal cake? Why would I want to point at the guaranteed of June 16th rising gas prices
going
to impede us?
Yep.
We don't need that.
No, we don't need that.
You and I don't need that.
No.
And I told him, I'm like, do you love me at all? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that I do like the idea that he's thinking about it, but and I do think there's like, how do you not blend in with every other logo that's up there? But yeah, I'm not sure, like pointing at urinals or pointing at gas prices or pointing at political possible statements is something that we want to participate in.
No, I don't think that's how we need to catch fire in our
viralness. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think that's a path I want to take.
I think Trent was taking that a little bit too far.
You know what, Trent? Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. We want your input, but only when we're asking.
Well, here's the thing. Note to self, give stickers to everyone else but Trent.
If we do this, that means we don't want any more input. Yeah. Just so you know. Yeah. The interesting thing I probably would have been looking at, because this is actually kind of one of my new fascinations, is that, so we kept kind of a sidestep of this conversation. So not trying to switch a subject.
Oh, no, do it.
Done. So is that, so we have water lines and woodies. So we refuse to like clean. This sounds so funny. We're not cleaning some of these water lines off because they're literally history at this point. They're history.
That's right.
We'll just call it history because it sounds classy. So we're going to use that.
It's supposed to be a 100-year flood. So
yes.
Yeah.
Whoever said that, I will be coming after you if it happens again. But anyway, so we have like a couple of water lines that we refuse to pass off.
Yeah, that's right.
And get rid of. So it's been kind of one of my things that I'll say, like, how high was the water? Because, we're all trying to relate and feel good about it. And it's like, the whole Cheers bar talk where you just want to find someone that kind of understands your name and understands your game that you're playing.
Right.
And so we were at Krabby Bill's, the original one in IRB, which is, that city has done a really good job. I mean, maybe not residentially, but from a business standpoint and a restaurant standpoint of putting themselves back together.
I believe that, because real quickly, when we drove through there in November to go to Clearwater Beach for a friend's opening of a restaurant, I looked at Trent in November and was like, on Gulf Boulevard. And again, commercially based, like you're saying, I'm like, it looks like it never happened here.
Yeah.
Like they were already, everything was on and we still look like a ghost town. And I was like, so yeah, I believe that with everything. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no. And I definitely think that we don't feature IRB enough because of the amount of work that they have done to put themselves back together. I mean, I think they have some coastal line situations that are literally on the beach that they're dealing with, but nonetheless, the businesses are going to help the city get everything back together. But anyway, so we were talking to the owner of Krabby Bill's, one of the owners, a couple of weeks ago when we were there, and just, the water line, this, that, and like the amount of work that they did between Helene and then Milton. And I was like, do you guys, where was your water up to? And he points over to a piece of like something on the wall so that you could see. And he felt the same way, like that was history, never wanted to forget it, wanted to remember so that they could always prepare with that line too. Right. Yep. And so it would be interesting to see. We were down there we were down in the Tierra Verde area. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, last November for one of our former employees that worked for us, now worked for the FWC.
Okay.
Down in Manatee County. And so we were down there with his family. He's worked with us for years, came to Thanksgivings with us. We just embraced him. He's from Michigan. So they did a graduation ceremony down there, but we were asking them, and interestingly enough, they were a lower level. So they got blasted. But what happened to them was the sand actually totally filled the front of their building, so the water never got in because the sand almost created a barrier. So it was kind of interesting to see. So that's one of my fascinations when I go through some of these areas to see what it is. But yeah, that's cool. I love that you got out of Mad Beach, because you have a tendency to stay in the 33708 a lot. Almost like you're on a leash, and or like you're in like the witness protection program, or that you're
an ankle
you're
monitor,
on house arrest. You're on like
an
city
ankle
arrest.
monitor. Yeah.
You're on city arrest, and like everyone's gonna know like Caitlin left 33708, or Caitlin's gonna get zapped. So I love that you did that. I mean, that's a nice day for you. I love that you did that. That was good job, Trent.
And you know what? It's funny you mentioned that, because at the end of our adventure day yesterday, it was, we need to get out more.
I think we say that a lot, though.
We do, but
we do. We live in this environment. Okay, so yeah, it's warm now, but I don't mind the heat. I'm literally outside doing a podcast, and it's probably 98 degrees. You're
much more acclimated than I am, but
yes. Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I enjoy working outside. I enjoy being outside. But I think that we say that a lot, like that, the environment. My sister told me, she's from Pennsylvania, and I talked to her earlier today, and she told me it was 66 degrees. And I was like, oh my God, what? Like, I just can't. And my dad was like, I don't think it's going to be like that till like December here. And I'm like, I know. So, but anyway, so
66. No, it's June, ma'am. Like,
exactly.
Where are you in the United States of these America? Because
I think that it's everywhere but Florida.
Oh,
I really do think that unfortunately it's everywhere but Florida.
Oh, well, I guess Missouri. Well, Missouri's known to rubber band back, so they were just like in the 90s, but that doesn't mean the next year can't be in the 50s.
Which is very consistent with a lot of places where it's like 4 different seasons in one day.
I feel like Illinois could do the same thing to you
easily. New England's the exact same way, and I feel like Billy Joe Crab is almost like got a New England vibe too, where it's like house on top of a house on top of a house. It could almost even put that in John's Pass, right?
And 100%. And I guess because I've never really, I lived in Maryland as a girl, and I remember going to Madeira Beach and stuff like that, but it's not enough for me to remember like architectural details.
Exactly.
But you're right. It does kind of give off the like fishing village, Northeastern kind of look. And I guess in my catfish noodling Midwest simpleton brain, I'm like, look at the Ozarks. It looks like look at the Ozarks.
Yeah, no, and I love, but that's nostalgic, and anytime that you can pull yourself something back to.
Well, and it's so funny too, because Jack and Bambi's honeymoon was at Lake of the Ozarks. Like, of course it is. So I'm like,
my parents' honeymoon was in St. Louis.
No way.
Yeah.
Did they go up in the arch?
I'm gonna say maybe. My mom is terrified of heights, so
they probably were just at the casino all day then. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, I think they went to St. Louis because they didn't have any money, and that was just what they could afford for a couple days.
St. Louis is the gateway to the West. Yeah, like there's a lot.
That's true.
There's a lot to do. I'm
sure it's become a lot more touristy since the 70s.
Well,
yeah, let's think about it. That was the 70s that they were married.
70s. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to ask Jack and Bambi what St. Louis was like in the 70s.
Yeah, what was it like in the 70s?
I was trying to think so we had the Cardinals. We didn't have the Rams. The Blues, I think, were there then. Just sports.
Yes. My Cardinals were, of course.
And so it's so funny because you bring up St. Louis, and I'm like, a baseball town with a drinking problem. And I think it's really funny that I am born in a baseball town with a drinking problem,
and now we're in a fishing
town with a drinking problem.
Habits. Drinking habits.
You know what? She's consistent. She
is consistent. That's right.
I just know where my tribe is.
That's right. Well, that's right. I mean, it just, you got to follow the tribe. That's what happens, right? That's what happens.
That's what I was raised for. Irish Catholic. I mean, come on. It's all we're allowed to do.
Me too, girl. Me too,
Come
girl.
on.
That's
So,
right.
but
All right. So let's switch gears. So Madeira Beach, we talk about Madeira Beach a lot.
yeah, back to Madeira. What's coming up?
Let's back to Madeira. Yeah. So Golf Beaches Library this week is hosting 9 a.m. another round of conversations with the mayor.
Yay!
Just love her that she does this. So that's really good. It's probably not one that I will participate in.
No, unfortunately, I'm not
I
going to
don't
be
think I'll get
either.
there.
But
yeah, I won't be able to get there.
I love the fact they're offering the monthly either a morning option or they have a happy hour option.
Yeah.
And
I'm definitely in for the happy hour option. It's not just because of the happy hour, it's because it actually just fits into my schedule.
That's what
and
I'm going with.
Because of the happy hour.
That's the excuse I'm sticking with too.
That's the excuse I'm sticking to.
That's the excuse we're sticking to. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have there's the 5K run that's coming in at the end of this month, which is, dear God, I was supposed to run today, I didn't, but I'm going to.
Hey, at least you're still
gonna hold up a sign. We're gonna hold up. We should hold up one of those signs.
I'm gonna hold up this sign, and then I'm gonna have your beer. You need to tell me what you want. And my question is, do you want it in
I don't think I'm picky.
You're not. I know you like the light sky blue moon.
I do. And I probably, after running a 5K, would probably be like, just give me the one full of calories and carbs. I'm good with it.
So okay, a real deal. Okay.
Yeah.
That was my next question. I'm like, or do you want like a Yingling or like?
No, we'll just go straight to like whatever it is, right? So I'm gonna attempt to do this 5K. It's gonna be on the beach. It's gonna be fun. The funny thing is, it's from 6:30 to 9, and it's a 5K, so 3 miles. So 3 miles is typically like I can run it.
Our city isn't even 3 miles long.
No,
so
it's
where
not.
do they have you people starting?
It's funny because it is. So what is that, like 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
I mean, a 5K, if you walked it, would only take you an hour. So I'm like, oh, so we must have some built-in time. We have some built-in time. Yeah, just to participate in other things. So we love that. But that's, what is it? We say the 11th one that they're doing?
It's the 11th annual.
It's so good.
Yep. 5K. And so be there or be square.
I will be there.
Participating or on the sidelines with moi.
That's right.
So
that's right.
That's right.
And then we have, so for our viewers, we have a reel that's out there that my dear friend Caitlin went off a little bit about the 4th of July as we saw some not so appreciative posts to the fact that we have so in the Madeira Beach and many cities around the world, they're doing, well, I guess the country are doing a fireworks on the 3rd instead of the 4th. There's multiple reasons why. One, because that's just, God forbid, multiple reasons why. And we listen and we don't judge. But there's a lot of people that sit behind their keyboard that listen and all they do is judge. So we have a reel out there that Caitlin got a little animated, as well as, well, this is true, Caitlin, and this is why I love her so much, excited. And what do you want to say, Caitlin, to the people?
Okay, so I know there's going to be the recording out there earlier, which this is what we're going to start doing. We're actually going to start recording ourselves while we're pre-warming up for you good people, because there's plenty of tea that's spilled when we're talking about what we're going to talk about.
Well, I would actually even add that every time you and I chat, we usually say we should have had that recorded.
Yes, every single time. I almost feel like a weirdo where I have to say, by the way, this conversation is being recorded every time we sit down for no reason. But
exactly.
Just to let the people, if you go to our Instagram page or YouTube or our Instagram page, you're going to be able to find the social reel that Stephanie is specifically talking about and the keyboard Karen warriors that we're talking about. Okay. God bless America. God bless America. July 4th. That is our holiday. That is the celebration of our independence from a tyrant that was England at the time. And
Yes.
all I have to say is that if you have nothing better to do than to break from your crochet, your Maury, your Judge Judy watching Days of Our Life marathon of a life, and get online and complain to our dear city about the fact that they're lighting off their fireworks on July 3rd, call the National Guard. God forbid, you know? And it's just like, it should be held on the holiday, and this is the holiday, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, Karen, you lighting them off? What time should I be at your house? Do you have a permit? Do you actually know what you're doing? Or is your brother Billy Bob just going to come light it off? Because trust me, I'm willing to watch whatever shit show you put on.
Exactly. I mean, I think that the only argument you could even make about them doing it at all is the fact that we're very close to the VW hospital, right?
Yes.
I mean, that would be the only argument. That I do know that everyone like always says, my pets, my pets, my pets. And believe me, I get it. I have a big black lab named Odie, and he does not like thunder. Like, it ripples through his body. He doesn't like all of that stuff. And then we've got, the vets that have like this PTSD piece of it. But for you to be complaining about, for God's sakes,
fireworks show.
Yeah. I mean, if you were sticking up for a cause of one of those two things that I said, or anything else that would create some sort of PTSD, that whether, then I would understand that. But I mean, I was letting you get wound up because it was the truth. I mean, I'm sorry, but because you don't, it's just so stupid. You don't want to go out. I mean,
you know what I saw? St. Pete Beach is Treasure Island. Like, there's multiple cities south of us that are doing it on July 4th.
And it's one of the biggest amateur nights of the year for fireworks. We used to go to Indian Rocks, actually, when my parents lived right there on the beach. And we would sit on their balcony and watch. It wasn't anything that was organized. It was just a whole bunch of people that enjoy fireworks, and they put on a fantastic display, and it would be on the 4th. And we didn't sit there and go, why isn't the city doing something like that today? It's just unbelievable.
Well, and it's, you know what, if you wanted to even argue now in July, right, where you are 10 months, 9 months solid after the other side of the hurricanes, all the cities should be prepared to do it and all the things or whatever. We're not taking a year off, if you will. But you know what? It's just like, how many times does 4th of July fall on a Tuesday, Barbara? And we're still going to do the fireworks display for all the families and the working people to go to on Saturday night or Friday, or whatever it is.
Because it just makes sense.
It just makes sense. And it's just, I don't like people that just complain about bullshit.
Yeah, and there's so many people on the internet that do that. They're just like, just trying to get engaged with someone.
Not to quote my famous reel, but walk your happy ass to the end of your privileged dock.
Exactly.
Watch your free fireworks show.
That's right, sister.
Ma'am.
That's right. So we're proud of that. So sorry about
July
that.
July 3rd, fireworks can be found for the city of Madeira Beach. Watching areas here at the ROC. Remember our children park. They do a really nice job. And shout out to the city of Madeira Beach. I can't wait for July 3rd and my free fireworks show.
That's right. Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly.
You know what? Shout out to our friends at the city that can't say what I'm saying, because you know what? Quiet down, Karen.
Yeah, they do a good job with that. They do a really good job of making sure that they don't say too much, even though we know they're feeling it in the backdrop. And I don't.
There you go. Thank you for your feedback.
Yes, we appreciate it. Noted.
Yep.
And that's fine. You can give the feedback, but yeah.
God bless America.
That's right. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Yes. God bless America. And what is it? The 249th?
50th, isn't it? 250th?
Next year.
Oh, that's next year. I thought the 250th anniversary was the reason we had a parade.
No, it's next year. Do you know why I know?
Is it next year?
Yeah, you know why I know. I'm a 76 baby.
Oh.
Don't tell the people.
Well. That makes it.
We have a lot to celebrate next year.
So much worse. Sorry.
No one has to know.
And nobody
no
has
one
to
has
know.
to know.
Jesus.
No one has to know.
Oh God, you don't want to know what I'm going to do with this information after this recording.
Well, you have a big one next year too. You have a big milestone as well.
We're not going to talk about that, but
That's right.
Somebody might be turning 40. But you know what?
I don't know.
I don't really care.
Exactly.
I don't really
It doesn't
care.
matter.
I feel like it's going to be one of those,
Yeah.
whatever. Look who's
Yeah.
holy lordy, look who's 40. Kids, throw me a party, you mother. Like, throw me a party. I'm waiting. Some of us haven't had a dog and pony show wedding. Let's go. Let's do
Maybe you'll get married on your 40th.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. Just trying to throw it out there. That's why I gave you the eyes. Like,
yeah,
maybe.
Well, it's either that, and I've been playing the weirdest, romantical squid game and trying to be like, today's the day, or I don't know.
Squid game.
Or the glass will give out. I don't know, but
I volunteer as tribute.
Done. Let's go.
Let's go.
Say we're taking the ferry from Fort Myers to Key West, and that's what's going to happen actually, because I've been looking at that. I haven't told you, but you're invited. I'm thinking about it. So you tell Michael there might be a Sunday next year where he's going to have to pucker up, Buttercup, because I'm stealing you.
Oh my God,
and at that point, just tell all the chitlin, no European vacations for this weekend that Mom is gone. So
Mom is gone. That's right. No, I should be safe next year. I should be safe. That's right. That's right.
I'm excited. So we'll have to buy a bottle of rye for our own ferry, Michael. No, I'm just kidding. That's right. That's right. All right. Well, as guys, always, thank you so much for joining us. We want to give you a friendly reminder to give us a like and a subscribe on our Instagram page. We also have our YouTube channel at The Real Salty Podcast. And if there is any topics or lovely things you would like us to discuss further, please let us know, because otherwise we're going to come up with the topics. We have no problem doing such.
No.
We just want to know what you want to know. Where's Ryan? Ryan Gosling, what do you want? Just tell me what you want.
What do you want? Exactly.
We want to know what you want.
That's right.
Give us some feedback. Of course, keep it appropriate. No urinal sticker talk. But
that's right. God forbid.
It's been fun.
See ya.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.